welcome to another edition of The Magic Show. For this episode, I want to talk about the top 5 takeaways from Pro Tour Battle for Zendikar. Surely there are many, but here are the ones I felt the strongest about. Let's go. Number 5. Silk Wrap is suddenly good now. In a world full of Dromoka's commands, Silk Wrap remains a terrific 2-mana removal option. Why? Because Hangerback Walker, that's why. If you Silk Wrap a Hangerback Walker and they Dromoka's command you to sacrifice it, their Hangerback Walker just dies. No harm, no foul. It's a great early answer to Jase Viren's overpowered mess, and it even protects Jeskai Ascendancy from Dromoka's command if you're interested in combo shenanigans. It feels almost like the card was printed in Battle for Zendikar, but nope, it's been in Dragons of Tarkir this whole time. Keep an eye out for it as the weeks roll on. Number 4. John Finkel is a badass. For God's sake, 15 Pro Tour top 8s. That is nuts. John effing Magic, ladies and gentlemen. Always to be respected and feared, Finkel plays no games. His post-Hall of Fame induction stats are basically good enough to be a Hall of Famer over again. 4 Pro Tour top 8s, including a win, 2 of those being semifinal appearances. Watching Finkel be awesome is always a pleasure, and it was easily on display here. Finkel is the best Magic player of all time, and it's not close. Number 3, Hangerback Walker's dominance remains. This guy, I tell you, Hangerback Walker is kind of oppressive. Yes, there are lots of ways to get rid of it. Yep, you can Amazon Charm it and Silk Wrap it and Jeskai Charm it to the top of their deck, but it doesn't matter. This card will continue to be played in absurd numbers. The number 1 card played amongst all winning decks at the Pro Tour. This innocuous Magic Origins rare has been fan-freaking-tastic ever since old Jeff Hoagland decided to run it out on the first weekend of Standard play.
You've got 4 Hangerback Walker. A lot of people saw this card at the pre-release, said it was insane. You think this could be the future of Standard?
I think we're all going to be playing Hangerback Mirrors before long. The cards can slot into literal anything. It provides a reasonable amount of value. It's a decent 2-drop in a format that's really short on decent 2-drops for mid-range and control decks especially.
Let's not discount Jase either. Jase Viren's absurd monstrosity is a force to be reckoned with all by himself. It slices, draws cards, it dices, flashes them back, and it forced cards like Wild Slash to be the 4th most non-land played card in the format. You must be able to kill Jase, and you must be able to do so immediately. But no matter how oppressive Jase is, and make no mistake, he is running this metagame alongside his buddy Gideon, Hangerback Walker still takes the crown. It goes in so many decks, has such little downside, good early, good late. Those hoping that Battle for Zendikar would shake him out of the metagame were sorely disappointed. Speaking of, number 2, the metagame is stagnant. Man, Obzon versus Jeskai in the finals, huh? That sure is some Battle for Zendikar you got there. Yes, I know Mono Red Aggro was one of the past few Pro Tours, but other than Autarka Red being a sweet metagame choice, the fact that old-fashioned 3-color clan decks are still at the top is so boring. And hell, it's not even that clan decks are the best, it's that the same clan decks are the best. Mantis Rider versus Siege Rhino? Why, we've never seen such things at the top before. It's easily seen since the release of Khans of Tarkir, whose metagame we're in, and it's basically Siege Rhinos from there on out. Surge of Righteousness is a card that was the 6th most played amongst winning decks, and I can tell you exactly why. It destroys target Mantis Rider or target Siege Rhino. It's almost good enough to main deck at this point. I mean, talk about your meta warping realities. Reed Duke and friends and their Esper control list ran 2 Arashan Clerics in the main deck. That's a 1/3 that gained 3 life, people. Main deck at the Pro Tour. God help us all. Number 1, Gideon is the best BFZ card, and it's not close. Good lord, son, this card is bananas. Elspeth Knight Errant, move over, because this 4-mana Planeswalker has taken the crown as one of the best Planeswalkers of all time. Both Pro Tour finalist decks were running a playset, and for good reason. This card does everything you want it to. After making tokens for a while, you can sack it to boost them to 3/3s. You're happy drawing multiples of it, something that is rarely a positive in Planeswalkers, and if you must, just bash in with an indestructible 5/5. Gideon is not a card you play 3 of. You playset, or you go home. One of the ways many of the control decks were winning this past weekend was a simple combo. Secure the waste for 6 or 7 at the end of your turn, play and sacrifice Gideon to bash in for 12 or 14 damage. This was seen in the Esper control decks, or in decks like Sam Black's Bant tokens. Glorious Anthem never looked so good, and it's clear that Gideon is going to be a huge force for the next year or so as he dominates the format. I think it also highlights another takeaway from the event. The Eldrazi suck. Yeah, there was a green-black Eldrazi ramp deck. I'm glad it did well. But this was not the breakout weekend for Oblivion Sower, and Ulamog more or less stayed home. It's cute that you can cast 10-mana spells and all, but with a 2-mana Planeswalker that isn't a complete joke and Gideon wiping up the rest, what are you doing with yourself over there? Making a 5/8? Getting some lands? Congratulations, I'll secure the waste and secure your loss while you're oogling over your Hedron archive. Bonus takeaway, the Snapcaster Mage promo. Wizards, please, Wizards, what are you doing? First of all, reprinting invitational cards without the likeness of the original person who helped design them is poor form. It's been poor form ever since you did it with Meddling Mage, and it's poor form now. Can you please knock that off? Secondly, this guy looks like he's playing soccer, or that he can't feel his face when he's with you, or the fact that he just looks like a red card. I mean, look at this mock-up from Reddit user Raynef. Doesn't that look infinitely better? You know, more like a blue card? We once had a steampunk Mega Man in Magic. Why can't we have nice things? This looks like some leftover artwork from Magic Origins, and they were like, we're making a new promo? Who cares? It'll be $100 no matter what we do. And then they just printed it. Yuck. So that's the rundown. What do you think? Let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, Magic players, this is Evan Irwin, tapping the cards so you don't have to.